Oh, this is so exciting. All these weeks building up to this moment. It is Sunday, it is the afternoon. I'm only going to do a few hours, but I do want to get a head start on it because we have got rain later in the week, and this is absolutely got to be painted this week. And in this video, I want to see that transformation. It is the 100th video, and I want to celebrate with having this completely done. I'm going to show you the paints I'm using. It's the same paint that I used on my house. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a dye-up 3-in-1, which means that it's a primer and the main paint, and it has an fungal mold, and that is going to make my life a lot easier. I'm not using the Wagner spray gun. I'm holding back on that. I do have the part now that clogged up, as you saw when I did my house. But with my house and looking at James's previous house that he used this paint, what a good job it did. Now, I used a pure white first of all on my house, and with the sun that we get here, it was glaring off of those walls like a fridge white. So we've chosen to go with this color called Marfin, which is, if you weren't putting it next to a fridge, you'd think it was white. It's just got a touch of cream in it, and that just takes away that glare. I'm going to paint the entire house in that, 2 coats, and then around the windows and along the trim at the bottom I'll be using 2 other colors, but I'll do that after it's all completely painted. And fingers crossed, by the end of the week we'll all be saying, wow, what a transformation. Gone round all the important bits, the nooks and crannies, all the fiddly bits, and tomorrow I'm going to come back, start early and work my way from that end, go all the way along here, and then work my way in that direction, and hopefully we'll get the whole house 1 coat of paint on it. In case you were wondering, by the way, that sign that's still there is going to be moved at some point. We don't know exactly when, but it will be going. I know it's a bit of an eyesore. It's a shame it's not already, but it will be going. Of course, there's always the downside of doing the painting. I was just burning off the bits of that meshing that we put around the windows. It was sticking out a little bit. Makes it a lot easier for me when I'm painting it. I think this one's not too bad up top there. Bloody typical. started quite early this morning and it's been a full day with no breaks at all. Have managed to give the entire house one coat, which bodes well for tomorrow, because now my plan is to start again where I started today and see if I can get that second coat going all the way round. Right, I've got to go home, got a lot to clean up. I am covered in paint from where I dropped off of the scaffolding the paint pot, which was a little bit silly, but that's all cleaned up now. Yeah. Right, I'll see you in the morning. Right, I shall see you after the second coat, and hopefully it won't be dark. Well, back for a quick pit stop. We're going to do all the way along the front and all the way down the side. Now I've got to go back up the steps onto the flat roof. Then it all would have had its second coat. When I come back here, I really am now starting to appreciate this kitchen. Just being able to walk in and have counter space and be able to make a sandwich, which I haven't actually been able to do in the past, even in that kitchen, because it was just cluttered. Anyway, going to enjoy this and we'll shoot back. Well, hey, so everything that has or needs painting twice has now been painted twice, including myself. Up on the top balcony, that's all done, pretty much everything, apart from there is one last little bit, because obviously James was working on it today. We need to let it dry off around those steps. I'll come back to that tomorrow. In the meantime, I think we've got enough time to do one last thing, just to add that second colour, and hopefully if the weather holds up tomorrow I can continue with the rest of it. Good morning. Right, we've had our walk. It's Wednesday morning, going to go back to the village, see how we left it yesterday. It was getting a little bit darker by the time I finished there. And I'm pretty confident now, very confident in fact, that we're going to get that all painted in this video and this week, which will be amazing. So I'm going to go back there now and crack on. Start on an easy part, I think. All right, Very traditional doing that around the windows here in Portugal, and I think it's looking really nice. One down, a few more to go. Two down. Third one done. So far, so good. What do you think? Mimicking stone colour as best as I could match in a shop where the lighting wasn't too good. But now it just goes to show, doesn't it? As soon as you start painting one area, all the bits that haven't been looked at yet are starting to look really scruffy, including that water meter and the electric meter there. We'll come back to that another day and see if we can tidy that up. That post, I've already told you what we're going to do with that. Now this cable, we are going to have to try and put it up properly and hopefully camouflage it so it doesn't stand out so much. But I'm really happy with how that's turned out. That darker colour along the bottom needs another coat. But I've been working in this area through the morning and it's been in the shade and my hands are feeling really cold. When the sun was out, around here was beautiful. So I'm going to carry on with that lighter colour, work my way down to the other end, and then I'll come back with the darker strip and work out what I'm going to do down here and across the top there. It's all starting to piece together. Really happy with that, but I have to be a little bit careful because the skies are going grey and we might get a little bit of rain this afternoon, and I want to make sure whatever I do is dry enough before it starts to spit. So one eye on that and the other eye round this side. What do you reckon, James?
It's fantastic, really good, brilliant. Colours are great.
Yeah.
That's it.
A few more days. Yeah, I know. What a massive change. Let's do it. Just ignore the insides for the minute. Right, we're going to have a coffee. So I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Well, we did have that rain last night. Not too much, but obviously the walls, the painting, some of these walls are wet. Some areas are dry. I'm going to have a little ponder, walk around a little bit more. I've been here for an hour now, just debating whether I'm going to continue or not. And at the moment, the sun has just started to poke its head through. The plan was originally to get as far as we have done and then today get it completely finished and spend an hour tomorrow on a snag list, I guess, going round, touching up any areas that need doing. Tomorrow, unfortunately, most of the day is going to be taken up with pre-op appointments, blood tests, x-rays for my operation next Tuesday. And of course, I wanted to get this done this week before that operation because I'm going to be out of duty for a few days, I guess. But I'm going to carry on, play it by ear, see how the weather plays up during the day. And if it does dry out the areas lower down, then I can continue. Bit of a gamble, but we'll do our best. Quick little preview of our front door. James has been tinkering with this, made to measure. That's going to look really nice. That's going to be maybe next week, maybe the following week. See how he gets on. Back to the house. Just came to get the keys for the garage. Early Friday afternoon and I was expecting to be out for the entire day with these pre-op appointments that I had. One of them I was able to do over the phone, which is good. So we've had the blood test done, we've got the heart monitoring done, which I've never had before, wired up head to toe, got the x-ray out of the way, got a nip back tomorrow on Monday morning for the you-know-what test, and we're good to go. Now that means, as I'm rushing back now, I think it's possible we're going to get a couple of hours before it goes darker to crack on and get that painted and hopefully get it completely finished. just in time for a beautiful sunset. That's all the wall painting sorted out along this side, and I couldn't be happier with it. Looking really nice. Now, in the morning, hopefully we'll have some clear skies and I can concentrate on the front of the house at the top and then just touch up the neighbouring walls and we'll be done. Wow. It's Saturday. We did get beaten by the rain, unfortunately. I had everything crossed that we were going to get this finished. I've only got about 3 hours worth of work to do on here, but it was raining this morning and we have a high humidity here in the winter. Would have been a bit daft to carry on. Has stopped now for a little bit of blue sky up there, but I've done what I can do. Obviously, I had my hand surgery on Tuesday and I wanted to get it all sorted out so that when I come back afterwards, we have a fresh start on the inside. But you know what? A few hours, it's all it's going to take. Let's have a look and see what it looked like before when we bought the house. You can see a little contrast. I think what's been really actually very interesting and rewarding this week is during the course of me starting the painting, the locals have been up and down. And obviously they've been seeing everything that we've been doing since the very beginning. They've obviously seen the house before we bought it. It was starting to deteriorate and now they see it as it is now and they can't wait to look inside and see what that's going to look like. Neither can I, but we've got to do it first. But everyone so far has said they love the colours and they love the whole look of it. So we can tick that off, kept our neighbours happy. It looks like someone might be actually painting their houses now as well, following suit. So what more could I ask for? Kept it nice and simple, natural earthy colours, stand the test of time. A little bit of touching up to do, yes, but overall really nice. And once James has put the door in place, we can match all the other doors colour-wise and yeah, it looked really nice. Obviously with the railings that we're going to be putting on as well, bottom of the steps there, that's going to transform it again. Overall, I think that looks damn good. Who says you can't polish a turd, eh? Right, on that note, I'm going to shoot off. Rest next week, as you know. Tuesday is the big day. Hopefully it all will go well and well, we'll go from there. We'll be in the insides, I know that much for sure. So until then, have a great weekend, great week. Bye for now. Happy?